Bonjour, Kwekwe, Tansi. It's Catherine and Brian at Moonstarlodge in Central Ontario. And we're into the second week of 2024. The one thing that happens for us this week is a new moon on January 11th at 06:58, and consequently I need to bring you up to speed on the grandmother of the second moon cycle of this solar year, and she is Wisdom Keeper. She is the protectress of sacred traditions, the keeper of the stone libraries and earth history, the guardian of the remembering and the art of memory, the mother of friendship, planetary unity, and mutual understanding. She teaches us the arts of self-development and expansion, how to access planetary memory, personal recall, and ancient wisdom and knowledge. She teaches us how to understand the wisdom that every life form holds and its missions, how to be a friend and to restore friendship by honoring the viewpoints of all life forms. She teaches us how to honor the truth. Wonderful grandmother for this time, given all the distress in the world. I won't review the decks I'm using because they're the same decks as last week, since we're still in this time of deep inner work with our ancestors. So if you, anywhere you've seen this posted, you will see a picture of the decks used for your review. So let's go to the cards, Brian. We start out here with the Eight of Rings, and this is our line of 7 cards, and these are the clarifiers. The Eight of Rings is the same as the Eight of Pentacles, so we are working along here. We are skilled, we are mature, we are advanced in what it is that we are capable of preparing, and we are at the point of becoming a mentor if we wanted to. It's clarified here by the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is a very artistic, very youthful, emotional being. And the artistic self and the exploratory aspect of the page comes to mind here. Because when you get to the point of the 8, and you have a mastery of what it is that you do, sometimes we can get into a bit of a rut. So the Page of Cups has come along here to suggest that we look at things from a new perspective, to explore and be grateful with loving eyes, as if we are looking at what we do for the first time. To just explore creative ways of adding to what it is we do. It's the expansion of self and adding to the emotional connection that we have with what we are good at. And I like that. That's bodes well for this week. It's followed by the Nine of Cups, which is that emotional sense of having it all, and again being grateful for it all, and being at peace that everything is right in the world with our loved ones and our family and our home, and a sense of internal peace. And it's interesting here because it's clarified by a card I've not pulled from this deck before, and it's Letters to Death. Death is about transformation, and this is asking us to continue to assess what it is we're grateful for, and how we can transmute it into more and beyond. So again, it's the very element of the kind of idea of the phoenix. It's also to not be afraid of physical death, because it's saying as we move on, we are adding to our karmic role, the Akashic record, so to speak, and every incarnation we have will be better, provided we're facing and being honest with ourselves about what it is in this life that got us to the place here of the 9, to the end of that cycle of emotional health and well-being. The 7 of Cups comes back this week, and it's about doing more of that preparation for the new journey that 2024 presents us with, how we step it up a notch in this new moon cycle. So, with 7 potential paths here, we could go quite down the rabbit hole and get distracted. It's interesting because it's clarified by a card called the Song. And the Song is about stepping into that part of us that is vibratory, that is calling to the other ancestors, that is making a rehash that actually fits into this story. We are not alone when we have decisions to make, and that's important to remember. We can also take our time and craft what it is that we are choosing. We craft the direction, actually, of what we are choosing. The 3 of Swords is a card that most people don't like to receive. It's interesting to me that in the Rider-Waite deck, the bottom half of the swords are actually still sheathed, as if they are not doing any cutting. It is releasing of a wisdom that comes from a place of sadness. This is the time with this new moon this week to ditch the things that we mourn about our own life's journey and choices. There's a wisdom that's released by the piercing of the heart, and that's what we need to hold on to. It's clarified by the Empress. So indeed, self-care, absolutely big time here. There's self-care and stepping outside of ourselves to care for others around us. She's very much like the woman that is in the Rider-Waite version of the 9 of Cups. Very much an Empress type, making sure that the people around are cared for, but it only works when we care for ourselves. So take time with the wisdom that you've learned and provide the self-care that you need. One of the ways of doing this is to be as the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, I prefer the Hanged One. It's about being the observer. In very old decks, you would see the Hanged Man with a bag of gold, and it's about reevaluating the things that we've done, to stand back and to be the observer. It's often about sacrificing things, and this sacrifice comes here. Sacrificing basically this week what no longer serves. We really, really have to do that. That's a message that comes up time and time again. But when the subconscious has not been dealt with in terms of shadows residing there, you're going to keep tripping up over and over. So to take the position of the observer is to see things from a new perspective. That applies here, 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 and basically the whole reading. The Hanged One is clarified by the skull Amaculp. And I will read you what Amaculp represents. Amaculp promotes the release of negative energies and opens the heart chakra. It's a green alabaster. It gives us the ability to forgive and do soul searching. The message from this skull is, I open and amplify the channel between the divine source and your sacred temple. I facilitate the expansion of your divine essence in love and joy. That's a wonderful message. So that's exactly what we need to do, is open up the heart that feels wounded, from which this wisdom flows. It's from the wounds that the wisdom flows. and it adds to everything that's happening here, and interesting that it sits beside the Empress. The next card is the Chariot. So by the end of the week, we are getting on our bicycle in this card, and we are going to go like stink, and we are going to just let it rip. It's clarified by the Sorcerer, which is ambition, willpower, and creation. So we're looking at what we have, we're looking at how to manifest change, we're picking up ideas, we're letting go which doesn't which doesn't serve us, and now we're finally getting it on our vessel and we're going for it. The Ace of Swords is what comes at the end of the week. So new beginnings. Intellectually, new ideas, incubating new ways to make the change, because in the New Year's Day reading, we had the Fool. So we're on a new journey, and here's where the energies are incubating. It's interesting, this moon mastery is the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is focusing on what we want and not at what we don't have. Because when we focus on what we don't have, we get more of what we focus on, which is that which we don't have. When we visualize and manifest into from the tonal into the Nagual, the field of all possibilities is what we call that. We call that source and creation. So here we have Amakalp saying, you know, open up, do some discovery. Here's another card of doing some observing and discovery. Card of going for it, saying that we have new beginnings of new enterprise here intellectually. So we've been healing. And the law of attraction says to make that vision board and focus on what it is you want to manifest. There is a saying that rejection is the creator's protection. So sometimes what we have on our vision board isn't exactly the right thing that's going to get us where we need to go. In fact, what it is that we need to manifest comes with expansion from the divine. So bringing us something beyond which we can see. All right, you can flip the camera, Brian. Bright blessings for this second week of 2024 and this new moon. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, send me a coffee. It's all those links are in the description. So from Brian and I, be blessed. Aho, peace.